1. Introduction. Have you ever lost sleep just because of a small sentence? A sentence that seemed harmless, the person who said it has long since forgotten. But you still lie there, tossing and turning in the middle of the night, your heart constantly churning as if someone threw a stone at your mind. You try to coax yourself to sleep, but your mind keeps replaying that situation over and over again. You speculate, analyze every look, every gesture, every smallest word. Did I do something wrong? Do they hate me? If only I had said something different. Every minute that passes is like a small knife cutting into your heart. No one knows, no one understands, only you silently torment yourself. And the saddest thing is that the person who hurt you is probably sleeping very well right now, because you are sensitive, because you care. You are hurt. 2. Analyzing the nature of people who think a lot. Have you ever met people like this? Don't talk much ... but see very deeply. Don't show off ... but always listen to you with all their heart. They are people who think a lot, sensitive, deep, and intuitive. They can feel the change in your eyes, just in a short second. They know when your smile is not real. They feel the sadness behind your words "I'm fine," because they listen not only to words ... but also to emotions. People who think a lot are often introverts. They often sit quietly in a corner, observing everything around them, from fake laughter to the glances that pass each other for a few seconds. They remember every little detail, who bows their head when mentioning an old name, who touches the glass of wine while clearly feeling empty. And then, they piece together all the pieces in their heads, even though sometimes those pieces are just imagination. Because they understand too much, they are also vulnerable. They think deeply, and also overinterpret. A cold look, an unanswered seen message, a sigh, all can keep them up all night. That girl, just because her lover texted occurred, yeah, I know, after an argument. She spent the whole evening analyzing, are you angry with me, or bored with me, or thinking about someone else, while the other person, simply, is tired. That is the tragedy of people who think a lot. They feel too much, but don't dare to say it, because they are afraid of being annoying, afraid of being judged as suspicious, afraid of being considered weak, and so they choose to stay silent, silently suffering, and hurting in your own inner world. Are you one of them? 3. The thought spiral, the trap of locking yourself in. Have you ever fallen into this spiral? Just a very small social situation, for example, you walk into a room, greet an acquaintance, but they just nod slightly and turn away. Immediately, in your head starts a storm of thoughts. Did I do something to make them angry? Did I say something careless the other day? Or are they avoiding me? And from an unintentional reaction, you draw a series of scenarios. The more you think, the more insecure you feel. The more insecure you feel, the more you want to control, and then the more you hurt. You send a message, the person sees, doesn't reply. A normal person would think, they must be busy, I'll reply later. And you, the overthinker, will think, did I say something wrong? Why did they change? They must hate me. You start reviewing every old chat, every sentence, every period, every question mark. You lock yourself in a dungeon of imagination. The carefree person, after a long day, lies down, sighs and sleeps well. They don't care too much, don't think too much, and your eyes are still wide open in the middle of the night. Your mind won't stop, it keeps running, non-stop. And you are the one who is torturing yourself without realizing it. You think you are looking for answers, but in fact, you are just digging deeper into your own insecurities. You think you are caring for others, but in reality, you are abandoning yourself in a maze with no way out. Each extra thought is like a stone, piling up in your chest, bit by bit. If you find yourself in one of these spirals, stop for a moment, take a deep breath, and remember, not everything you think is true. 4. Internal conflict, understanding others, forgetting yourself. There is a strange paradox in people who think a lot. They are very good at empathizing with other people's emotions, but often forget their own. Have you ever been like this, chasing after others, always nodding even though you want to say no, always smiling even though you are broken inside? You say, it's okay, I'm fine, but in reality, you are tired. You need someone to hold you and say, you don't have to be so strong. You are afraid of making others sad, afraid of disappointing others, afraid of being thought of as selfish. So you brace yourself, take it all on yourself. You choose to be silent because you think you can endure it, but at some point, you start to ask yourself, why am I always the one giving in? Why do I always have to try to please everyone? Am I living my own life, or am I just living to not upset anyone? Do you keep asking yourself over and over again, where did I go wrong? Even though deep down, you know, you did nothing wrong. And then, what remains is just a suffocating feeling of loneliness. Not because there is no one around, but because no one really understands you. No one sees the times you stay silent, the times you swallow your tears, the times you force a smile just to not make others feel awkward. You understand everyone so well, but has anyone ever really asked, what about you? Have you ever felt tired of being the nice person forever? 5. The price of sanity. You are not weak. You are just sane in a world where people are used to pretending. When someone says I'm fine, you know they are hiding something. When a smile appears, you can clearly see that there are still tears inside. You hear things that others don't. You feel things that others choose to ignore. Because you are awake, you cannot be as carefree as others. You cannot pretend not to know. You cannot laugh when you are in a panic. And because you are awake, you are not easily deceived. But that wakefulness is also a double-edged sword. It makes you see more and hurt more. You see the fake in compliments. You see the cold in hugs. You see the invisible distance between people who seem close. And sometimes, you wish, I wish I could pretend not to know anything. If only I could be lighthearted, like them. If only I didn't hear, didn't see, didn't feel so much. But you can't, because that's who you are. You may be tired, you may feel lonely, but you are not worthless. Your sobriety is a gift. It helps you see what is real and what is to be avoided. It helps you protect those who are weaker. It helps you be real. In a world where many are pretending to be, you are not weak. You are just a bright candle. In a room where everyone is used to the dark. 6. Gentle, healing solutions. To escape the spiral of thinking, the first thing you need is not a reason, but kindness to yourself. Don't be quick to blame yourself for thinking too much. Don't call yourself weak, a nuisance. You don't have to be strong all the time. You don't have to understand everything. And you don't have to please everyone. Practice seeing yourself as a close friend. Hug yourself when you're tired. Listen to yourself when you're confused. And forgive yourself when no one else will. Accept that you can't control what other people think. You can't control every situation, but you can control how you respond. Learn to say no. It's not selfish. It's about protecting your boundaries. You don't have to say yes to every invitation. You don't have to say yes to every expectation. You have the right to say no, so you can heal. You can start with something simple. Meditate for 5 minutes every morning, just to breathe and be quiet. Write an emotional journal, so you don't have to keep everything inside. Take a break from social media, where fake images of happiness can make you feel inadequate, and choose to hang out with people who make you feel at peace, not those who make you feel tired. Healing is not about forgetting everything. It's about moving on, with a heart that is still soft, but no longer broken. You deserve peace, and that journey starts with you. 7. Inspirational conclusion. If you've ever found yourself in those tangled thoughts, if you've ever lain awake at night because of a little saying, remember, you're not alone. There are many people like you, also learning to understand themselves, also learning to let go little by little, and also finding the peace they deserve. Don't rush to be okay right away. As long as you keep moving forward, even if slowly, you're already much stronger. And if you need a place to listen, to reflect, to heal, subscribe to the Legacy of Thinkers channel so that every day you have a minute of peace in the nosy world.